Okay, so let's unpack this idea. Imagine a city, right? It's full of life, bursting with pride, really building its future. But what if the very things meant to help it breathe actually start to suffocate it slowly?
Yeah, it's a real paradox. And what's fascinating, I think, is how this desire for progress, usually with good intentions, can kick off these, unseen system dynamics, these reinforcing loops that, well, they feel good at first, but then they trap us.
Right, traps.
So today we're diving into a really compelling story. It's about an urban planner, Elias, and a doctor, Anya. They saw this whole thing happen in real time.
And our mission for this deep dive is really to explore how that kind of planning, even well-meant planning, can bump up against these limits to growth and what that means for you and the places you live. Should be some aha moments in here about how our choices shape things. So back in the late 2020s, you have Elias, young planner, very ambitious. He looks around his city, sees the new towers, the roads, all the economic buzz, and he thinks, okay, the city's healthy. It's got a strong heart.
Absolutely. And his focus, traffic, congestion. His solution seemed obvious at the time. Widen the roads, build more capacity. He really saw these as like new arteries for the city.
Convinced it was the cure. And, well, for a little while, it did seem to help, right? There was some relief.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really interesting. That temporary relief, that's the hook. It actually encouraged more driving. It allowed the city to just sprawl outwards, pushing everything further apart.
So the car wasn't just convenient anymore.
Not at all. It became a lifeline, an absolute necessity. And that right there is the reinforcing loop starting to tighten its grip.
So more roads led to more driving, more sprawl.
Which then created demand for even more roads. It feeds itself. It's a cycle he didn't really anticipate, not fully.
And you see these patterns everywhere, not just cities.
Oh, definitely. Ecology, finance, even personal habits. These loops are fundamental system dynamics.
But the human cost, that became painfully clear. Elias's own daughter, Lena, as she's growing up, the relief is gone. Congestion's back, worse maybe, and she develops this cough.
Yeah, a persistent one. And by the time she's 10, Dr. Anya Sharma, the pediatrician in our story, gives it a name. Urban asthma.
Wow.
And Anya, she sees the direct connection, this sort of brown haze hanging over the city. She linked it straight to the kids struggling to breathe in her clinic.
So you've got rising air pollution leading to more respiratory problems. It's not abstract data anymore.
Exactly. It's personal. It's hitting home.
And Elias, who's now a senior director, he starts seeing it too, but maybe through a different lens.
Through the data, yeah. Cold, hard numbers, hospital admissions shooting up, public satisfaction plummeting. He's on this task force presenting charts showing the road capacity fix just didn't work. It actually made things worse.
And Anya's there too.
Right beside him. She's showing the sharp increase in inhaler prescriptions. Then you have business leaders saying, look, the city's losing its edge. Talent's leaving for cleaner places.
So the limits to growth idea wasn't theoretical anymore.
Not at all. It was their reality. The system was choking on its own expansion. It hit that invisible ceiling hard.
So faced with this, what do? You can't just give up. Elias and Anya, they really started pushing back, right? Championing change.
Fervently. New policies. Big investments in things like electric trams, subsidies to get people into EVs, and crucially, protected bike lanes. Real alternatives.
Trying to offer people a different way. But it sounds like a fight.
Oh, absolutely. Fighting for every budget dollar, battling over zoning changes, because you're up against inertia.
The inertia? Explain that.
Well, think about it. The sprawl was already there. Decades of designing everything around the car. Habits were entrenched. Infrastructure was built.
They can't just undo that overnight.
Exactly. So the balancing loops they were trying to introduce, like better transit-reducing car use, they were fighting uphill against those powerful reinforcing loops that had been building strength for, well, a generation.
It just shows how hard it is to shift a system once it's set, doesn't it?
It really does. It's like trying to turn a giant ship. The system resists.
And the story has this quite poignant ending years later. Elias watching his daughter, Lena, now grown up, leaving for university.
Going to a smaller city known for clean air, for walkability.
And she's carrying her inhaler. That small piece of plastic is just a symbol of the city's failure, in a way.
It is, and Elias looks out at the city he poured his life into.
And realizes he was part of the problem, unintentionally suffocating the place he tried to build. That's heavy.
It's a powerful lesson. The
Yeah.
story really drives home how our solutions, especially in really complex systems like cities, can backfire, create these unintended consequences. It highlights how those reinforcing loops, even when driven by something positive like growth, can eventually push a system past its limits until it's struggling.
So maybe something for you listening to think about. What fixes are happening in your life or maybe in your community? Could be small things, could be big projects. Might any of them actually be tightening a hidden trap? What reinforcing loops might be playing out, sort of quietly steering things in a direction nobody really intended? Definitely something to chew on until next time.